Hi, guys, and welcome back to another video. Have you ever heard of the top 10 richest economies in South America? Today in this video, we are going to discuss the top 10 richest economies in South America as of 2020. Number 10. Paraguay. Paraguay has a GDP per capita of $5,692 as of 2019. Paraguay has an estimated GDP of $40.714 billion as of 2019. The economy of Paraguay is a market economy that is highly dependent on agricultural products. In recent years, Paraguay's economy has grown as a result of increased agricultural exports, especially soybeans. Agriculture represents 30% of its GDP. According to official figures, 5% of landowners own 90% of the land. In 2018, Paraguay was the sixth largest producer of soy in the world, with 11 million tons produced. Manufacturing accounted for 16.3% of GDP in 1986 and employed roughly 13% of the labor force. Manufactured exports, by most definitions, accounted for less than 5% of total exports. When semi-processed agricultural products were included, however, that figure reached 77%. Number 9. Suriname. Suriname has a GDP per capita of $5,798 as of 2018. Suriname has an estimated GDP of $3.427 billion as of 2018. The economy of Suriname was largely dependent upon the exports of aluminum and small amounts of aluminum produced from bauxite mined in the country. In 2018, Suriname produced 273,000 tons of rice, 125,000 tons of sugarcane, in addition to smaller productions of other agricultural products, such as 48,000 tons of banana, 19,000 tons of orange, and 14,000 tons of coconut. There is one large-scale gold mine operating in Suriname. This is the Roswell Gold Mine. Oil is a promising sector. Staatsolie, the state-owned oil company, produced 16,200 barrels a day in 2012. Number 8. Ecuador. Ecuador has a GDP per capita of $6,368 as of 2018. Ecuador has an estimated GDP of $108.398 billion as of 2018. Ecuador's economy is based on the export of oil, bananas, shrimp, gold, other primary agricultural products, and money transfers from Ecuadorian immigrants employed abroad. In 2017, remittances constituted 2.7% of the country's GDP. The total trade amounted to 42% of Ecuador's GDP in 2017. The country is substantially dependent on its petroleum resources. In 2017, oil accounted for about one-third of public sector revenue and 32% of export earnings. It is the world's largest exporter of bananas, $3.38 billion in 2017, and a major exporter of shrimp, $3.06 billion in 2017. Oil accounts for 40% of exports and contributes to maintaining a positive trade balance. Number 7. Brazil. Brazil has a GDP per capita of $6,450 as of 2020. Brazil has an estimated GDP of $1.363 trillion as of 2020. Brazil has a developing mixed economy. From 2000 to 2012, Brazil was one of the fastest growing major economies in the world, with an average annual GDP growth rate of over 5%. The service sector is the largest component of the GDP at 67.0%, followed by the industrial sector at 27.5%. While agriculture represents 5.5% of GDP in 2011. The Brazilian labor force is estimated at 100.77 million, of which 10% is occupied in agriculture, 19% in the industry sector, and 71% in the service sector. In the mining sector, Brazil stands out in the extraction of iron ore, where it is the second world exporter, while it is the fifth largest producer in copper, gold, bauxite. Brazil has the second largest manufacturing sector in the Americas. Number 6. Colombia. Colombia has a GDP per capita of $6,508 as of 2019. Colombia has an estimated GDP of $327.895 billion as of 2019. Colombia's 15.8% of the workforce were employed in agriculture, generating just 6.6% of GDP, 19.6% of the workforce were employed in industry and 64.6% in services, responsible for 33.4% and 59.9% of GDP respectively. Colombia is rich in natural resources, such as oil, agricultural products, precious stones, metals. Colombia had the fastest growing major economy in the Western world in 2014, behind only China worldwide. The contribution of travel and tourism to GDP was $5,880.3 billion in 2016, which accounts for 2.0% of total GDP. Number 5. Peru. Peru has a GDP per capita of $7,047 as of 2019. Peru has an estimated GDP of $228.989 billion as of 2019. The economy of Peru is an upper-middle-income economy as classified by the World Bank and is the 47th largest in the world by total GDP. Peru was one of the world's fastest-growing economies in 2012, with a GDP growth rate of 6.3%. All of these factors have enabled Peru to make great strides in development, with improvement in government finances, poverty reduction, and progress in social sectors. Peru's economic performance has been tied to exports, which provide hard currency to finance imports and external debt payments. Peru's main exports are copper, gold, zinc, textiles, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, manufactures, machinery, services, and fish meal. Its major trade partners are the United States, China, Brazil, European Union, and Chile. Services account for 43% of Peru's gross domestic product, followed by manufacturing, 32.3%, extractive industries, 15%, and taxes, 9.7%. Number 4. Guyana. Guyana has a GDP per capita of $8,649 as of 2020. Guyana has an estimated GDP of $6.806 billion as of 2020. Guyana has reported average GDP growth of 4.2% over the last decade. Guyana is one of the fastest developing countries in the Western Hemisphere. Agriculture and mining are Guyana's most important economic activities, with sugar, bauxite, rice, and gold accounting for 70 to 75% of export earnings. Ocean shrimp exports, which were heavily impacted by a one-month import ban to the United States in 1999, accounted for only 3.5% of total export earnings that year. Sugar is the most historically important product of Guyana. However, the industry has been in decline, but it still is a major export. Number 3. Argentina. Argentina has a GDP per capita of $9,888 as of 2019. Argentina has an estimated GDP of $445.469 billion as of 2019. Argentina benefits from rich natural resources, a highly literate population, an export-oriented agricultural sector, and a diversified industrial base. Argentina's economic performance has historically been very uneven, with high economic growth alternating with severe recessions, particularly since the late 20th century, since when income misdistribution and poverty have increased. Early in the 20th century, Argentina had one of the 10 highest per capita GDP levels in the world. Argentina is one of the world's major agricultural producers, ranking among the top producers in most of the following: exporters of beef, citrus fruit, grapes, honey, maize, sorghum, soybeans, squash, sunflower seeds, wheat, and yerba mate. Agriculture accounted for 9% of GDP in 2010, and around 1/5 of all exports. Mining and other extractive activities, such as gas and petroleum, are growing industries. Number 2. Chile. Chile has a GDP per capita of $12,612 as of 2020. Chile has an estimated GDP of $294.237 billion as of 2019. During 2012, the largest sectors by GDP were mining, mainly copper, business services, personal services, manufacturing, and wholesale and retail trade. Mining also represented 59.5% of exports in the period, while the manufacturing sector accounted for 34% of exports, concentrated mainly in food products, chemicals and pulp, paper, and others. Chile is the second largest producer of salmon in the world. As of August 2007, Chile's share of worldwide salmon industry sales was 38.2%, rising from just 10% in 1990. Chile is one of the 5 largest world producers of cherry and cranberry, and one of the 10 largest world producers of grape, apple, kiwi, peach, plum, and hazelnut, focusing on exporting high-value fruits. Number 1. Uruguay. Uruguay has a GDP per capita of $17,029 as of 2019. Uruguay has an estimated GDP of $59.918 billion as of 2019. The economy of Uruguay is characterized by an export-oriented agricultural sector and a well-educated workforce, along with high levels of social spending. After averaging growth of 5% annually during 1996-98, Uruguay's economy suffered a major downturn in 1999 to 2002, stemming largely from the spillover effects of the economic problems of its large neighbors, Argentina and Brazil. Throughout Uruguay's history, their strongest exporting industries have been beef and wool. In the case of beef exports, they have been boosted since Uruguay joined the Mercosur agreement in 1991 and the country has been able to reach more distant markets, such as Japan. Uruguay imports crude and refined oil from other countries. It produces different types of petroleum products. With that being said, here we come to the end of our today's video. I hope you liked this video. If so, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss any video. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Thanks for watching.